Ladies and gents, boys and girls, what is up? Tuesday, February the 17th, 2026. Hope you're all doing well. I'm Chris Phillips. This is the Chris Phillips Show. We are obviously airing much later than normal. More on that in just a moment. But again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Like I mentioned, this is the Chris Phillips Show. We are live every single Tuesday and Friday as we get things going, guys. As always, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Check out the Chris Phillips Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, of course, all your favorite social media platforms on our website, secunfiltered.com. And as always, we are brought to you by our friends over at Underdog. Download the Underdog app. Use promo code SECU to get $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Once again, that is promo code SECU to get $75 in bonus entries today. This is the Chris Phillips Show. I'm Chris Phillips. Tuesday, February the 17th, 2026. I am reporting to you all live from Las Vegas. And really, guys, the point of this show is to let you all know that I am still in one piece, if I'm being totally honest. We have had quite the adventure since Saturday. I do have a wedding this afternoon at 4:30 local time. So excited to partake in that. Going to be a lot of fun. I don't know why, guys, Twitter is doing this. I've talked to y'all about this before, but for some reason, whenever we go live on StreamYard, I think it's a Twitter thing, Twitter's not actually tweeting out the video. We have a lot of folks that do watch on social media, a lot of folks who do watch on Twitter. It's not actually tweeting out the video. It's just telling people that we are live. So doesn't really do us much any good when that is the case. So let me see. Let me see if I can't get this posted real quick. We're off to a hot start. We're off to a very hot start. Here, I'm just going to type it in. Again, guys, take your questions, your comments. This show is all about you. Would love to hear your thoughts. This is going to be a big Q&A show today. Going to be a big Q&A show. Again, it makes me look silly because now I got to tweet out the link, and that's just dead air on a podcast. That's no good, right? All right. There we go. All right. Again, like I mentioned, I'm Chris. This is the Chris Phillips Show, February the 17th, 2026. Got a lot to get into. Might be a little bit of a shorter show. We might go the full hour, like I mentioned. Got a wedding at 4:30. Probably need to be getting there by 4, so probably need to leave here by about 3:45. So don't want to go too long. But, yeah, we'll rock and roll. There's a lot of stuff I want to get into, especially SEC baseball power rankings, which we dropped earlier today. Really exciting stuff. Also, guys, of course, I'm in Las Vegas. It has been one hell of a time in Las Vegas. My first ever trip to Las Vegas certainly will not be my last. And like I mentioned, we are here taking your questions, your comments, everything in between. So let's start with that. Las Vegas, man, good Lord, as advertised. It's crazy when you go out in Las Vegas. There's obviously no clocks around here. They don't want you to know what time it is. So, like, it is very, very, very easy to get out and stay out super, super, super late. I have done that twice. Admittedly, last night was one of those nights. By the way, Pacific time for the birds. I understand how it can be superior in some ways, but I just feel like my life is built off of the East Coast. So it's like I feel like I'm behind, right? Like I'm 3 hours behind. Like it is 5 o'clock on the East Coast right now. And it's only, you would think I feel like I'm ahead, but I feel like I'm behind, admittedly. Like when it comes to content, for example, there was a part of me that thought I was going to wake up and do this show at like 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. local time. No shot. No shot. Guys, there's a reason, in case you don't notice, that all of our shows are scheduled for the afternoon. There is a reason that I do that. So I apologize, by the way, because this is supposed to air Tuesdays and Fridays at 1 o'clock Central. I do not like switching up the schedule on you guys last minute. Also, the Layup Line aired late as well. That show is out, our college basketball show. Go check that out. But everything is airing late this week except for yesterday. We were able to get Glue Guys and Chewing Clock out in a timely manner. But today is just utter chaos. Tomorrow we'll be back to normal programming because my guy Cole Thompson's going to handle chewing clock without me. But anyways, the bottom line is this. Not a Pacific time guy. I'm just not a Pacific time guy. I don't rock with it. I don't love it. I don't support it. I don't appreciate it. I'm not a Central time to the death of me. Central time to the death. I like Central time. Yeah, I have no use. I have no use for Pacific time. I will tell you guys that there's going to be another change with the Chris Phillips this week because I will be in Jacksonville on Friday. Really excited to get down to Jacksonville. It's crazy going straight essentially from Vegas to Jacksonville for the College Baseball Classic down there in Jax. Really, really pumped for the event. It's always a great event. Excited to watch some college baseball in person, obviously. The Chris Phillips Show will air because the first game at the Jack CBC, which features LSU, is at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Central. So we will be going early on that show. I'll probably say Friday, noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, something like that. Probably knock that out at the Airbnb, Uber down to the field, what have you. But Vegas is wild, man. Thankfully, I haven't lost too much money playing blackjack. But I'll be honest with you, man. I'm not a big gambler. I'm really not. I'm not a table game guy. Like I'm not a gambler outside of sports. I'm not a gambler outside of sports. And the biggest reason why I think is like I don't like to play games that I don't know how to win. And that's what it feels like. Games that I don't know how to win. Yeah, I mean, I had a guy trying to teach me how to play craps. Baccarat. I'm like, I'm good, man. I'm good. It's not me. It's not me. I don't want to do it. So I've lost a little bit. We've had some fun. Obviously, you can't come to Vegas and come back with all your money, right? That would just be outrageous. That would just be silly, if you will. But haven't lost too much. Thankfully. No sense in it, man. I grind too hard for my money. I just grind too hard for my money, to be honest with you. So, yeah, it's just something that I'm good on. But I do want to take a moment to say thank you to you guys, a moment of appreciation. So, our college baseball content, we have been steadily building momentum over the last couple of years to a point now to where with Anthony Renato, my co-host, and the content that we're putting out there, I feel as strongly as ever about the content that we're producing when it comes to the baseball side of things. I want to say thank you to you all because I'm proud to announce that yesterday's Glue Guys recapping opening weekend. And it's only been, by the way, right around or a little bit more than 24 hours. It's been a little bit over 24 hours. So these numbers can, and I would imagine will increase going forward. But really, really grateful to you all for making yesterday's Glue Guys the most viewed regular season show that we have ever done in the last 3 years. I'm talking like ever. Largest regular season show we have ever done. So, man, I can't say thank y'all enough. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Typically with college baseball, you're seeing those bigger numbers, those bigger show numbers, like when we get, into conference play at minimum, but certainly when we get close to the postseason and we get into the postseason, the numbers explode. But yeah, to get that kind of viewership right out of the gate, I mean, the first Friday Night Spikes was a massive success. I think that's the most viewed Friday Night Spikes, regular season Friday Night Spikes that we have ever done. So I can't say thank y'all enough, man. Really, truly, it's awesome. It's awesome to see the growth. It's awesome to see the progression, which kind of leads me into this next topic. And I didn't even put this in the title, but something I saw today that I want to discuss really briefly. Shannon Terry over at On3. He is the owner, founder, obviously, of On3. He started 24/7. He started Rivals, what have you. He's been in this game a little bit. Shannon Terry tweeted out, which it's gone crazy, right? I mean, it's over 1 million views on social media, whatever. The top 20 college sports influencers for 2025 on X, according to Get Social Proof, which is, I don't know, some social intelligence. I don't know. Some account with 30 followers, apparently a social intelligence tool. I have no idea. But essentially listing the top 20 accounts in 2025 by impressions. What's funny about this is everybody, or a lot of folks, I should say, not everybody, a lot of people in the comments are losing their minds, right? There's a lot of creators that were not included. A lot of the Barstool guys didn't make the top 20, which I think we all know is nonsense. Robert Griffin III gets in the replies. Kendall Rogers is in on the replies. A lot of burner accounts that do really well, they got on the replies. And so, yeah, lot of creators, lot of creators that are flexing their impressions, if you will. And I get it, right? I get it. Like, nobody wants to be left out. What's funny about this post has been community noted. It says, this post leaves out a ton of content creators who have provided their own numbers. A fluff piece meant to make On3 look better than they are. On3.com. Hilarious. I think that's absolutely hilarious. I will just say this, because here's the thing I don't like about stuff like that. I mean, I get it, right? Like, we should have rankings. Like, I think, obviously, we love power rankings. We love to rank stuff. And SEC Unfiltered, I mean, for SEC Unfiltered to not be included in that list, it doesn't really matter. But I can assure you we have the numbers across all socials to be included in a list like that. I mean, it goes without saying. He knows that. I know that. It goes without saying. So I'm not going to, yeah. The only thing I'll say is this, man. I would say this to young content creators out there and people that want to get in the game or just starting in the game or have been at it for 5 years or less, I'll say, they can look at a list like that and they can look at those numbers, billions of impressions, hundreds of millions of impressions, what have you. And those numbers can be really, really intimidating. And I would just tell young content creators, you don't need 1 billion impressions to pop in this game, man. You don't need 1 million. You don't need 100 million. You don't need millions. My mentality when I first started in content was simple. If I can build a hardcore nucleus of a fan base that really rocks with me, like I'm talking about, you know, I read an ad or I tell them to go to this or do this or use this service, like they're going to do it. They trust my word. My word is gold to them. If I can build a core nucleus of folks who really rock with me, then I can win. Again, you don't need 1 million or 100 million or hundreds of millions or 1 billion impressions to pop in this game. You really only need a couple hundred people that like really rock with you. So I would just tell young content creators, man, don't get discouraged by seeing those numbers. Don't get discouraged by seeing people on social media flex their millions of impressions. How do you engage with real people? How do you engage on a human level? And I think and I know for a fact that is the thing that separates SEC Unfiltered. We are as raw and as unfiltered as anybody in the space. We are real human beings. We are putting ourselves out there, right? We go to games. We go to tailgates. We don't hide behind a credential. We don't hide behind sideline access. We're in it with the people, man. Like, we are one with the people. We're not speaking to the audience. We're speaking with the audience. And that is the thing, one of the things that separates SEC Unfiltered from literally everyone else. Literally everyone else in the space. And there's others that do great work, obviously. And this is meant as no slight at anyone, but that's the thing that differentiates us and separates us. I do want to get to this really quickly because I see you all in the comments. I want to take your questions, your comments. Jeremy Scott, by the way, says favorite winter Olympic sport. I mean, is it a cop-out to say hockey? If I can't say like hockey or skiing or stuff like that, I don't know. I was watching curling last night. Such a riveting game curling is. Husker 77 is in the chat. What's going on, Husker 77? Jeremy Scott also says Roll Tide. Sandman's up in here. Sandman, what's going on? I do want to get to this because I've seen this a lot. Seth Holmes, did I miss something with Harrison and Jake not being around this past weekend? Loved having Renato, though, as an ex-ball player. God knows ball. Yeah, listen, and I'll tell you this, by the way. Anthony Renato wrote an incredible piece that he posted to his own social, and we obviously share to ours. And I can encourage you all enough to check it out. I can, because you will not get a more in-depth breakdown of what's happening on the mound. He essentially power ranked the starting pitchers of the SEC, gave them all grades, dove into the analytics, all that good stuff. So again, highly encouraged, highly encouraged that you check that out. Why are Jake and Harrison not around? So I'll start with Harrison. You know, Harrison approached me back in early January, right? It was time for us to figure out, hey, what's the deal with our college baseball show? And, you know, kind of knew this day would come where, you know, Harrison's on his own journey, figuring his stuff out. And, you know, I think between the time commitment and just some other things he had going on with his schedule, it just was unable to work out. It was just unable to work out, bottom line. That's really what it came down to. I'd still be more than happy to work with Harrison in some capacity. You know, I think there's other avenues that he and I could work together, but, you know, it just, people get busy, you know what I mean? And so we got to have somebody we can depend on and count on for each and every single show that we do, right? So our college baseball show continues to grow. Our college baseball content continues to take off. And so, you know, consistency obviously is really important. And again, it's one of those things. I'm happy for Harrison, proud of Harrison, what he's doing. Would be happy to work with him in some capacity, whether that's one-off content, that's weekly content, that's some sort of daily content, whatever it is. But for the specific show and for like Friday Night Spikes, obviously, you know, I wanted someone who could do it consistently, of course. That really matters. I see my guy Jake in the comments. Jake, what's going on, man? Jake's still around, friends with Chris. Much love, see Philly. Yeah, again, you know, it's one of those things where I'm just putting a lot of emphasis and much love, Jake. I appreciate you being tuned in on Twitter. That's dope. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, man. There's a lot of people in the college baseball space and just media space in general that I am friends with and, you know, really appreciate and have fun chopping it up with and doing work with. You know, man, I'll just say this, and I've even talked to Jake about this, so there's nothing that I'm going to say on air that he hasn't heard. And I'll just tell you guys and kind of pull back the curtain and really give an honest breakdown of why you don't see certain people on the show or why you don't see certain creators collaborate, what have you. And I've talked about this before, but like I go back to like 2017 when I first started in the space. I don't know if it's because it feels as if the competitiveness of the space has increased. I don't know, but and this is just me personally talking. I could be wrong. I don't feel as if people collaborate like they used to. Like, I don't think people are as eager or as excited to work together as they once were. And I'm talking specifically creators. And I'm grateful for the ones that we do get on. We've had tons of great creators and tons of great folks, whether it be in the media space, former players, whatever it might be. And we're going to continue to do that. But like, I noticed specifically when I started in this game in 2017, again, it felt more commonplace for people to want to collaborate and work together. And I mean, I respect the fact too, and I've talked about this before too, man. Like I think the college baseball media sphere specifically is a little interesting. And so I want to work with people that want to work with us. And not everyone's a big fan of us. Let's just put it like that. Like they're just not. There's this, and I do want to talk the college baseball world specifically because there's been a lot of chatter over the last like 48, 72 hours about the game, about the sport, what the standing of it is. But you know, listen, we're unfiltered. I'm not one to shy away from ruffling some feathers, especially when it comes to some mid-major programs out there, ACC or whatever we like to pick and poke and have a little fun. And it's never personally, but, you know, that's just not how some people roll and some people operate. And they maybe feel that being associated with us hurts them in some way, which I think is crazy. I think it's crazy, but to each their own. So, you know, if you ever wonder why you're not seeing certain people collaborate with others, it's, you know, and also I'll tell you this too. This is a fun topic and fun conversation. I'll tell you this too, man. I got to a place in my career. Here's my biggest pet peeve when it comes to content and content creators. If someone goes out of their way to ask you to come on their airwaves as a guest, right? If someone asks you to come on their airwaves as a guest and you obviously accept, that person should not have to hunt you down when they post a clip or promote your show. So, for example, like I have had people on in the past that, and it's certainly like when you bring someone on your airwaves, you don't ever do it with the, like when you give, you don't expect in return, right? That's not really true giving. So, if I bring someone on my show, it's like, hey, I'm not necessarily expecting you to reciprocate that and give me an offer and an invitation. But when you bring people on multiple times and they never offer and they never reciprocate and they can't even go do as much as even like share the clip or the content that you are sharing promoting them. Guys, I've gotten to a point in my career where I stopped having those people on my airwaves. I mean, there are people specifically that if you look back and did enough digging, you would see people that I used to have on the show on a weekly basis, or I'd have on before every college baseball season. And like, bro, you can't even follow back when we have you on the air. It's a sign of disrespect, man. Like I know like people will laugh and it's like, oh my God, why are you taking social media so seriously? And I hear you, it's all silly and it's all fun and games or what have you, but at the end of the day, it is the world we live in. So again, like it's just like it's almost like content creator etiquette. You know, it's like etiquette of the game. And it is my biggest pet peeve. And like again, I'm to a point in my career where like I don't have those people on my show anymore. I don't have those people on the airwaves anymore. Because it's like, why am I just giving you my platform for free to promote yourself and your shit? And then you're not even sharing the shit that like I post of you. You know, like, I mean, listen, to each their own. Shit, I've experienced this in Nashville. You know, and I would tell him it's a buddy of mine, a guy that I had on my airwaves, and I'm literally posting a clip of him promoting him, and he can't even collaborate with us on the post on Instagram. Hey, man, I'm kind of funky. I'm kind of funny about my Instagram. That shit's crazy, bro. That shit is wild. I can assure you I will not promote anything of you on my platform ever again. Ever again. So the content world is one that is very, very, very interesting. And again, I think a lot of it goes back to, especially in the college baseball media. Especially in the college baseball media. You know, it's I like to talk about it because I've got a really unique vantage point on it, and I don't get any other opportunities to discuss this stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of egos. There's a lot of, I think that, the thing that I love about college baseball, and I saw a guy, I think he's the head of PGA content or something like that. And he tweeted a long thing about college baseball and why it's so awesome. And I know many of us, there are many things he said that we already knew. There were some new things that I think he uncovered that like, oh yeah, that is awesome. One thing I would add to it, man, I think college baseball is winning and having success and people are really gravitating to it because it's not the shit show that college basketball and college football are. And I understand when it comes like viewership and TV revenue and like the money keeps going up and the viewership goes up during the season. I totally get it. But I think the college football offseason has become deplorable. I think it's become absolutely deplorable. But what I think that's also done, and some people just aren't going to like baseball, right? Like you either like baseball or you don't like baseball. But it has really separated college baseball from the standpoint of there's still a sense of purity left in the sport. And I think some of that goes back to the NIL deals aren't nearly as outrageous and you don't hear nearly as much about them. You know, even if you have the most expensive roster in college baseball, doesn't mean you're going to win the whole thing, right? That's just not how baseball works. And transfer portal is not nearly as nauseating because transferring has always happened in college baseball. Like, think about it. We've always had JUCO. Guys have always been able to come in from the JUCO ranks, contribute right away. So I don't think any of those things are harming college baseball nearly to the effect as how it's harming the product that is college basketball and college football. There's just a sense of purity to it. And I would also agree with one of our commenters here, John Bro. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it helps that the SEC is the best at it, right? Like the SEC is elite at it. Really, the only school that doesn't give a damn is Missouri. And then really the only two schools that just aren't worth a damn are Missouri and South Carolina. And even South Carolina, that fan base has been beaten to a pulp. But when that product's good, obviously that fan base shows up and shows out, and they're one of the most passionate in the country. So I think that also helps the SEC product. But I think college baseball is gaining traction. It's a great product, number one, flat out. It's a great product. It's an exciting product. It's the very best of the best, especially when you talk SEC baseball, but it's not pro baseball. So you still get a lot of funny, random moments. You have a lot of characters, a lot of personalities. Same thing goes with coaches. So you have all those things going for you. But again, it doesn't have the headaches that so many of the other sports have. And I love that about it. Like, I really genuinely, like, I love college. Like, thank God for college baseball. I've always said this. I don't know how people don't watch college baseball. I don't know how you're just such a football guy that you literally don't even give college baseball the time of day. I can't rock with that. I think that's crazy. So we've got a great game, man. Like I genuinely love it. Again, there's a lot of talented people that cover it. I think we could do away with or do less of some of the egos and the weird kind of rivalries we have within the space, if I'm being totally honest. Like I mentioned, it's like the college baseball media space. It feels like to me there's so much opportunity. It's wide open. But the people that are in the college baseball media space treat it as if there's only like 3 or 4 spots and only like 3 or 4 people can pop off. And for us, it's like, dude, we don't just cover college baseball. Like that energy's goofy to me. Like all that shows is insecurity. Like that energy is just, that energy will never win. That energy will never get you where you want to go. So it's, I don't know, man. I guess you could say that's any space because, listen, there's, oh, my God. You talk about egos, college football media, oh, my God. There's some dudes that I'm going to just tell you this. There's some insufferable motherfuckers that cover college football. And there's probably some people that y'all follow that they fucking suck. They suck, dude. Like, very unrelatable, uncool, would just never hang out with these people in real life. I mean, ain't no other way to put it, bro. There's some dudes that take what they do so seriously. It's like, brother, I can assure you, if you stopped covering the game would still go on. Like, I say that about myself, and I say that about anybody. I know we love to think that if we stopped doing what we doing, the world would stop turning and they throw a big ceremony for us or something. But like, bro, it's not that serious. It's really not. So anyways, I've spent enough time on this. And I say all this too, like the media space, there's great people. There's great people in it. I'm so grateful for the tight relationships that I have, but I'll just put it this way. The people you see coming on our airwaves, that's who we rock with. The people that you haven't seen on our airwaves or you don't see, I'm not saying we don't rock with them, but like, just depends on who you are, I guess. All right. Anyways. Really fun day. I got a wedding in 2 hours. Got a wedding in 2 hours, so we got to get spiffed up. I come back from Las Vegas tomorrow. I got to be honest with you guys. I'm looking forward to getting back to Nashville. Granted, I will only be there for about 24 hours, but because I'll be flying to Jacksonville on Thursday night. I'm really pumped to get to Jacksonville too, man. I'm excited to get to watch some baseball in person. This, I loved opening day. This weekend's been fun, but it's been very hectic also. it has been very hectic. So I'm pumped to get back, really, truly get back in the saddle. I know that Jacksonville's probably going to – and my guy Anthony Renato is going to be down in Jacksonville. How about that? We're going to have AR down in Jacksonville. My guy Jake says, Chris, what's your go-to cigar, man? I love a Rocky Patel. Any Rocky Patel, my go-to right now, the 1992 is probably my favorite. The new Emerald they just dropped is a great smoke. But, dude, you give me anything Rocky Patel, that's what I need to do. I need to do at some point. I did top 5, like, occasions to smoke a cigar. I need to do, like, top 5 cigars. Like, cigars, like, brands. I mean, I'd probably – Rocky Patel would be my number one. But there's a lot of other good ones as well. Hell, there's one in Nashville. Could shout them out, Mayflower Cigars. So, yeah. There's many others. There's also many others that I enjoy to smoke. But Rocky Patel for me is just the go-to. Like, Rocky Patel is living proof that you don't need a $100 cigar to have a great smoke. You can get a $15 cigar, and you will have a fantastic smoke. Fantastic smoke. All right. That being said, I saw somebody talking about it earlier in the show. They're calling me a non-ball knower in the comments. So without further ado, let's get into it. My latest SEC baseball power rankings. We drop these every single Tuesday during the college baseball season. Again, these are the latest edition here on this Tuesday, February the 17th. As we pull up each of my selections, we will start at number 16. And guys, you're going to notice there's not a lot of change in this first official in-season power rankings, because the one thing you don't want to do is drastically overreact to one weekend. But certainly we had some notable results in the SEC. We had, I believe it was 8 teams that swept, 9 if you include obviously what Oklahoma did, and 5 others won their series. So everyone had a winning weekend, but it didn't all look the same. Number 16, I got the Missouri Tigers. Not a lot of explanation needed here. You lose on opening day to Mount St. Mary's. I know you won 2 of 3, but I think Mizzou's probably just going to be terrible yet again. 15, I've got South Carolina. I could have put them 16 just for the nonsense that Paul Maneri said after the game on Saturday. I can't believe what he said. And in case you missed it, the comment about, the guys were tired. We didn't hit on the field. It's like, they were tired from the doubleheader on Friday. It's like, Coach, it is the second day of the season. Yeah, it's going to be a long season in Columbia. Number 14, I got Alabama. They got to figure out who the Friday guy is. I don't think Tyler Fay is it. Maybe it's Zane Adams. I just, until I see it, and I love Justin LeBron, one of the best players in college baseball, but until I see it, I just don't trust Tyler Fay and Zane Adams consistently. I don't, I think if that's your 1-2 that you're riding in SEC play, it's going to be a struggle. I'm not saying they can't go like 14-16 or 15-15, but I do think it's going to be a struggle if that's the 2 guys you're depending on. Number 13, I've got Vanderbilt. And I will admit to you, this feels low for Vandy because I was really encouraged by the power numbers. I think they hit 9 home runs over opening weekend, which is crazy. I mean, we had one of our friends over, Alex from the Door Report, that told me this team could hit 100 home runs, and I thought he was kind of off his rocker. And they hit 9 on opening weekend against pretty quality pitching. So, obviously it's a losing weekend. We got to bump them down a few spots for that, but I really am encouraged by the offense because I think with Vandy, the pitching is going to come together, right? So really encouraged by what we saw from the stick specifically, but right now I got them at 13. Number 12, I got the Ole Miss Rebels. I was catching a lot of flack for this one. Guys, I don't really know why. Like, if you're the 12th best team in the SEC, I mean, you might be the 15th best team in the country with the way this league is. But right now, Ole Miss is 12 for me. I just think there's other teams ahead of them that I trust more right now, that I have more faith in, that I was higher on going into the season. And one weekend sweep of Nevada is not necessarily going to change that. Ole Miss can swing the hell out of it. I do think they're a really fun, underrated club. I will not be surprised if and when they move up this list. But right now, 12 is fair. At 11, I've got Texas A&M. Was great to see the Aggies get it rolling. Really, truly. And if Texas A&M keeps it up, what they did over the weekend, they're going to quickly rise up this list. Seeing Gavin Grahovic back healthy was great. Caden Sorrell had a monster weekend. He is one of the best players in college baseball, as we know. Feels like they're really deep. Now, again, I still think they've got question marks on the mound. Obviously, they're going to have to figure out, and they're going to have to really use this non-conference to solidify some roles and get some things in place before SEC play gets here. Because, guys, the season's not that long. SEC play, it will be here before you know it, as crazy as that sounds. But there's a lot of things I like about Texas A&M right now. I've got them at number 11. Number 10, I got the Georgia Bulldogs. I know Georgia drops a game to Wright State, but I do think that Wright State team, solid club. We talked about it. I was not surprised that Georgia only won 2 of 3. I mean, it looked like a Georgia team for most of the weekend, right? Hitting a lot of bombs. The pitching fared well. Let's see how it continues to develop. It's funny. We're to a place. There's a lot of Georgia fans that feel like I don't talk about Georgia baseball enough. I mean, I don't know how much more in depth y'all want me to go. The Kenny Ishikawa start was really impressive and really, really encouraging for what he can be for the Dogs. Trey Phelps is Trey Phelps, Colby Branch, those guys. I mean, they can just swing the absolute hell out of it. So they're going to be a fun team to watch all season. As we talked in the preseason, Georgia's ceiling is controlled by their pitching. If Georgia can pitch the baseball with the lineup they have, they can get to Omaha. They've just got to pitch the baseball at a high level. At number 9, I've got the Auburn Tigers. Once again, guys, I understand. They're 9th in the power rankings. I totally get it. You can be the 10th best team in the country in the top 25, but you're 9th in the power rankings in the SEC. This league is dummy loaded. It is what it is. Ho-hum. You beat up on Youngstown State. I mean, it took the Bats a while to get going down in the Plains, but you get the series sweep. Not a ton to really say about it. I'm excited to see how Butch Thompson's club continues to develop, though, for sure. Number 8, the Kentucky Wildcats, who swept UNC Greensboro. Really impressive stuff from the pitching side of things. I love their staff this year, guys. They had a massive weekend on them. I believe it was 46 strikeouts for the Cats. And then the absurd stat of the weekend, 23 stolen bases, which I'm just like, how does that even happen? How do you have 23 stolen bases? But they did. So we'll see if they continue to run at that rate as we go through the non-conference. Number 7, I do have the Florida Gators. I bumped Florida down a few spots. You just got to figure out the Liam Peterson thing. You lose to UAB on opening day in extra innings. I put the blame at the feet of Liam Peterson. I understand that your bullpen did struggle late in the game. But, you just got to get a better outing from your Friday guy. I mean, look at what Aiden King came out and did. Cooper Wallace came out and did. Shoved. Aiden King was phenomenal in his start on Saturday in the doubleheader. The Gators avoid disaster. They win the series. We get Kevin O'Sullivan's return tonight, by the way, in the midweek at the time of us recording this. But I'm still high on Florida, but after losing the opener, had to bump them down a few spots. I do think there's a serious conversation that needs to be had about Aiden King and him potentially moving into the Saturday or the Sunday role. I mean, I said it all preseason, guys. Not enough people were talking about it. There needs to be a real conversation between the competition that is that Friday night role, because I think Aiden King can take it. I will. The least surprising thing this season will be to me if we look up in a month and Aiden King is the Friday guy at Gainesville. Just it will not shock me. Number 6, I've got the Tennessee Vols. You could argue this isn't high enough. Dude, Blaine Brown's incredible. Dude's pitching in the midweek for Tennessee after hitting 3 bombs over the weekend. I mean, this dude is the Shohei Ohtani of Knoxville, right? I mean, it's crazy. So if you don't know Blaine Brown, get to know him. Get to know him. This kid is an absolute stud. Tennessee did not miss a beat on opening weekend without Tony Vitello, as you would expect. Number 5, I got Mississippi State. Again, successful start to the Brian O'Connor era. You sweep through the weekend. Hofstra gave Mississippi State all they wanted. There were some tense moments for sure, but all in all, good win. Love what I saw from the starting rotation. Hopefully we get to see Jack Bauer in the midweek, the kid that throws 103, because he's going to be an absolute electric factor. Number 4, I've got the Arkansas Razorbacks. Arkansas goes 2-1 on the weekend in Arlington. Overall successful weekend. I mean, you heard Dave Van Horn come out, and he was less than pleased about the 2-strike approach and the 2-strike hitting. He said, I got a couple guys that are going to join me over here on the bench if they can't get it together. So, Dave, I mean, listen, it's a really talented team. Arkansas, Gabe Gackle looked awesome. Arkansas looks great. I still feel very confident. I mean, it's only one weekend, but I feel very confident in my Arkansas pick to win the league. I really do. Number 3, and the biggest risers of the weekend by far, guys, they rose 11 spots. I know I said not to overreact, but when you go do what Oklahoma did on opening weekend, which, by the way, since we're speaking on Tuesday, this includes a Monday night win to start the season 4-0. I mean, you got to feel really good about where you're at if you're Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma made a massive statement. I think Oklahoma was the biggest winners of the college baseball weekend, opening weekend. I don't think it's particularly close for what they did. So Skip Johnson told us in the preseason he liked his club a lot. I don't regret having them where I had them going into the season just because I had so many question marks, but they answered them. I mean, they answered the bell on opening weekend. It's a long season now. It's a long season. Cam Johnson, Mercurius, they got to continue to do that on a week-in, week-out basis. But that team's got grit. That team's got fight. That team's got heart. And that team's got talent. And those pieces come together. I don't know that Oklahoma is going to challenge and necessarily win the league, but I think they can definitely be a 17-13, 18-12 type of ball club that hosts a regional and is in the convo for a top 8 national seed. Number 2, I've got the Texas Longhorns. I liked what I saw from Texas this weekend, guys. I think they're deep. Yeah, I mean, I think Riojas, Harrison, and then Volantis, bang, bang, bang. All those guys were phenomenal. Adrian Rodriguez looks incredible. Carson Tenney, what he's going to be. I think it's Aiden Robbins is the Seton Hall transfer. Texas is deep, man. Texas is deep. Texas is loaded. And a very successful weekend for them against, I think, a quality UC Davis team. And finally, guys, my number 1, no surprise here, no changes, but the LSU Tigers, who actually start the season 4-0 after they beat Kent State on Monday night. Jake Brown is tied for the lead in home runs so far this season. I know, again, it's very early, but to have 4 bombs already at this point in the season is pretty wild. He also has arguably the best home run celebration in college baseball with the motorboating of his teammate. Shout out to Jake Brown. But, yeah, LSU looked great. I mean, they look deep. Loved what I saw from so many different guys up and down the lineup, especially. They're so – they have – LSU's got 15 guys who are worthy of starting, but they've only got 9 positions they can fill, right? So, that's why you leave it to Jay Johnson. He's the best in the business when it comes to putting all the puzzle pieces together and figuring out who should go where and pushing all the right buttons. And, the thing about Jay, he's going to use the midweek. He's going to use these non-conference weekends to really tinker and test around with his lineup and put some different guys in different positions. The pitching looks deep as well. I mean, to set a program record with 49 strikeouts, to set a program record when you think about the guys that have come through Baton Rouge is actually terrifying. It is terrifying, like straight up. To think about the arms they have. Let's see what Ktaeem Evans looks like this Friday. I do think he will bounce back, but I think if he struggles again, there's going to be a lot of people from the LSU side of things that want to have a Ktaeem Evans conversation. Do I think it's a little bit of an overreaction? Yes, but I think if he struggles the second time through the lineup again, maybe there's something to it. Again, the stuff's incredible. Ktaeem Evans is a dog. He's a battler. He's a fighter. But you know how LSU fans are. They're going to talk if he comes out of the gate struggles. But again, successful weekend for LSU. They are number 1. So would love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? How would you power rank the teams of the SEC after one weekend of play? Guys, on that note, I think we're going to call it today. Like I mentioned, I know we're about 15 minutes early of normal because we typically go about an hour on this show. But I got a wedding to get ready for. So I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle. Really appreciate you all, man. It's, we show up and we do what we do on a daily basis because we love to do it. And we love and appreciate y'all. And I'll tell you, man, we take a ton of pride in our work. We take a ton of pride in our work. I know I do. I can't say thank y'all enough for the love, for the support. Y'all make it worth showing up, man. So I will say this yet again. We may not have the biggest follower account or get the most impressions on something or the most views or this, that, or whatever. But I feel really confident to say, like, we are really impacting real people. And The community we've built is awesome, and I'm super grateful for each and every single one of y'all. I'll never take it for granted. I've had the same mentality, and I have the same mentality that I had from the jump. If I can wake up and I can positively impact one person today through my content, through my work, through whatever else, then I've won. And so when you have that mentality, you know, comparison's the thief of joy in this game. You don't fall victim to that. You don't fall victim to comparison as the thief of joy, because you're too focused on the blessings that you have the opportunity to give. And in turn, when you give genuinely that way, you receive as well. That's the only way to receive. That's actually a key. The key to receiving is actually giving. Aha. And there it is. So I don't take it for granted, man. I'm truly grateful to have the opportunity every single day to chat with y'all and to give y'all value, and y'all support us back and, you know, show love. And we can't say thank you enough, because without y'all, this wouldn't be possible. So, all right, that being said, I'm going to stop being sappy on y'all. I'm going to get ready for this wedding. Guys, if y'all can do me a favor, by the way, like if you love and you support me. So each of our shows now on SEC Unfiltered, I'm very proud to say, has their own unique podcast feed. If you are subscribed to the current SEC Unfiltered podcast feed, the shows that we produce are no longer being distributed through that main feed. So, for example, if you want to listen to the Chris Phillips Show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you need to go look up the Chris Phillips Show on those platforms and subscribe and listen. Same thing goes with Glue Guys, SECT, Chewing Clock, and the Layup Line. If you can also do us a favor, not only subscribe, but if you can rate those shows, leave us a 5-star review, write us a review. It really helps boost the show. It helps us grow those individual channels. Again, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Heck, I think if you even look up SEC Unfiltered on those two, all of our shows are going to come up because they're all under SEC Unfiltered. Obviously, we are the owner of all of those shows. So if you can do me that solid, I'd really appreciate it. In the meantime, guys, on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Check us out, again, wherever you get your podcasts, all across your favorite social media platforms, as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. Guys, I'm Chris Phillips. This is the Chris Phillips Show, live from Las Vegas. Let's go get somebody hitched. Y'all have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we will talk to you all on the other side. Cheers.